Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father. I have an awesome interview as always for you guys here at Oeuvre City Radio and BODS Mayhem Hour. I have the man who played for Breaking Benjamin and also now is the man behind the sticks for Black Label Society. None other than Chad Szeliga. I hope I said your name right.
Szeliga, close enough. It sounds like a disease in the throat.
But I got Chad on the line here. We're going to be talking about his days with Breaking Benjamin and playing with the rock god himself, the legend, Zach Wild. Chad, man, how's it going?
It's going great, man. Thanks for having me on.
You're very, very welcome, my friend. Very welcome. So, you started out pretty much with Breaking Benjamin. I mean, you know, Breaking Benjamin itself was an awesome band.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I still dig their music. It sucks that they're still not around, you know?
Yeah, I feel the same way as you do, and I'm sure, you know, a lot of people feel that, and you just, you know, it takes its toll, you know, you tour for so long, and some bands are meant to be together, and some other bands just, you know, get tired of the same old situation, I guess you would say, so... I'm trying to press on and trying to bury hatchets in different places and try to move on. And if it's not meant to be, then you can basically, the saying is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it.
Very true. Very, very, very true. The thing with Breaking Benjamin that really caught my attention was everybody's style of music that, you know, with the whole band itself. But you had every song that was different, you know.
Yeah, we were all influenced by a lot of different bands, and probably just like right when I came in, you know, I was influenced really heavily by like Deftones, and you know, Seven Dust is one of my favorite bands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just a variety, a plethora of music that was thrown all down. You know, basically throwing all our cards on the table and knowing which ones to play. And Tool was definitely favored in this band, and excuse me, and I wanted to try to take it somewhere different. As people know or people don't know, to me, drummers can make and break a song immediately. Like, for instance, if I played Godspeed Hellbound and I put a Latin groove on it, it would not sound like you really want to mosh to it anymore.
No.
Right, so you gotta understand how the song's how it's gonna write itself, and what kind of drum beat, and how you kind of complement the riff, or the riff complements the drums, and vice versa. It's very similar to a marriage. You gotta help each other out. And Breaking Benjamin, it was definitely a Toolish kind of band at first, and I kind of wanted to get away from that. And just make it just have a lot of attitude and rock, man, and just put out a really good record. And I think we achieved that on the Phobia record.
Yeah, I think
when we all, you know, put our brains together on that. So
the very first time that I heard you guys with Breaking Benjamin, I was in a car with my buddy Nick, and every song just kept, you know, was different, and it was a good tone to it. And I said, "Who is this?" He said, "It's a band called Breaking Benjamin." I went, "Holy crap!" So I went and got every one of them at the time that was released out. Bought every one of them, and
well, I appreciate it.
I mean, I'm still a huge fan of it. So you know, I'm a fan of music. Period.
Well, that's, you know, and that's what it all comes down to. I know a lot of people, you know, when I sign autographs or talk to people, and they go, "Well, I'm not really a musician, man, but I love music." And I go, "Well, that's the best people you want to talk to, because they're not going to get all nerdy with you with all the gear that you play or how many rudiments you play as a drummer, but they really go, I like your music. You know, I like some of your songs. I'm not a big, huge Breaking Benjamin fan, but I do like some of your singles." And, you know, you got to understand, you're not going to make everyone happy.
That is very true.
And, you know, my goal is to do the best of my ability as a drummer to give everybody something in every song that they would like to hear as a drummer. as a listener too. And Tool's prime example, Dave Matthews, Stuart Copeland from the Police, all these great drummers, John Bottom. I mean, they were a part of that band. They weren't just a timekeeper. And so, I try to give credit where credit's due and compliment the singer or the guitar player and just back them up.
Okay, let's talk about how you actually got, into music and what really led you down this path to be a drummer.
Yeah, I mean, I started drumming at the age of 2 and basically just picked up. My grandfather had some history with big band and playing with supposedly Buddy Rich and Tommy Dorsey and Glenn Miller. And he played trombone. And when I heard this music when I was younger, I loved it. And I was like, wow, this is really cool music. And at a young age, you really don't go right towards big band.
Yeah.
It's not probably what a little child listens to. But I was very fortunate and blessed that I got to be around somewhat a musical family, because my grandfather, after he got out of the service and was doing the whole big band thing, that movement at that time, he got into teaching drum corps. And we would go every weekend, him and I, to go judge like the top-notch drum corps of the DCIs and stuff. So I got to see all the greats play of DCI and watch them, and they would teach me all these little tricks. And then he had his own marching band in Bowling Green, Ohio, that he taught. So every time I go see a football game, I'd hang with the drummers, being 8 years old, learning all the cool tricks on the snare and all that. So I was definitely blessed around that. My father was a drummer, never professionally, just did it for fun. But he was like my idol from 2 to like 6 years old. And he bought me my first kit. But the first person that really got me into it was my grandmother. She bought me a snare drum and a pair of sticks.
That's cool.
And my grandfather said, you can't play anything until you learn your rudiments. And then my mom played for the Cleveland Orchestra. Well, I'm sorry, take that back. She was going to play for the Cleveland Orchestra, but she had me. So she had to find a backup plan. So I'm the only one really in the family has taken it to another level. So anyone that's listening to this interview and you have that kind of family and you want to keep the family music in the family, I guess, strong, I suggest make a lot of sacrifices and get good at your instrument so you can make the family's name proud.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How proud would your family, be of you, man? Because your grandma bought you the kit and your grandpa was playing with the big marching band, stuff like that, the big bands. I mean,
yeah.
They have...
Not to interrupt you, but unfortunately my grandparents never got to see me succeed to where I'm at now. They passed away, 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And, it was hard for me to not have them be a part, but they're always looking down on me. So they're always with me regardless.
Condolences, my friend. I do apologize. I just lost my uncle about a week or two ago, so I mean, it's...
I'm sorry to hear about that.
It seems like, we do have some things in common, Yeah,
and I think the best way to, in a nutshell, with music and being able to play it is, to me, very spiritual. I never looked to be a rock star. I never looked to be a drummer and hook up with women or get free stuff. I looked as the man above blessed me with the talent, as he blesses us all with certain talents. And I don't look at my talent better than your talent or your talent better than anyone else's talent. We're just all unique. There's no best drummer in the world. There's no best guitar player. You can't say Zach's the best guitar player in the world because, you have Eddie Van Halen, you had Stevie Ray Vaughan, you have Jimi Hendrix. I mean, it's a plethora of music and styles. So therefore, everyone is unique. Of course, Zach is one of the best, but he has a unique style. When you go and you see Zach, or you hear Zach on a record, even if it's on a pop record, you know it's Zach Wild.
Exactly.
And I think what we need to work on as musicians is a style.
Mm-hmm.
Not how fast you play and how loud you play, but a style. When you hear Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen, you know it's Van Halen.
Yep. And it's that style that's going to catch your attention and go, wow, what is that?
Yeah, or like Vinnie Paul and Dimebag.
Oh my God, yes.
You know, rest in peace. But you could tell it was Dimebag.
Yep. And another thing you hit on is when you were talking about, just music in general. It is a relief for some people.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. The spirituality of being a great musician is you make people forget about their problems. You make people not commit suicide. Sometimes you make people feel like they want to commit suicide, but I don't think it's the music. Right. I think it's them taking it where they want to take it.
Exactly.
But our music, whether it's heavy, light, even in the mellow side, our music focal point is not to go, all right, we want you to blow your head off. That's right. The way you're perceiving it, but that's not the way I sang it. So if people did their homework and really read the lyrics, they would understand it.
Exactly.
And, like the whole Ozzy Osbourne Suicide Solution.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, these are words. And it's supposed to paint a picture, like a movie. You don't hear 9,000 people committing suicide watching movies.
Yeah.
Even though it's more graphic and vulgar.
I agree. I agree.
So then you put on a headset and then you listen to these songs and go, I'm going to go kill myself. No. It's what you're doing. Video games don't make us kill people. You kill people.
Right.
It's entertainment. It's a gimmick. The whole, started from way back with Alice Cooper to King Diamond to Slayer. I mean, it's all for fun and show and different ways of rebelling.
Mm-hmm.
And if everything was perfect, there would be no like gimmick. There'd be no Marilyn Mansons or anything like that where it's like you're not buying that record for your kid. But that's what sells the records.
Yeah, exactly. And you hit it right there, man. It's just a gimmick, but my God, it was an awesome gimmick because he got so many people pissed at him. You know what I'm saying? Different organizations.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a spiritual person. I mean, I don't go into the whole occult crap or whatever, but,
right.
There's a lot of people that want to go against religion, and I understand it as a Christian myself that just because you say you're a Christian doesn't mean you're a Christian per se. You can still do bad things, and I think he touches on that, which is a very sore subject in the Christianity, and it makes people mad because they can't admit to it,
right,
and can't believe that just because we're Christian doesn't mean that we're perfect people.
Yeah, everybody makes
we still
mistakes.
sin, and I think as he took Marilyn Manson, Marilyn is Monroe, which is like beautiful and does no harm, and then you have Charles Manson. So he does kind of show both sides of the fence.
How does it make you feel when your fans come to you and say, "Hey, look, your music helped me during a dark time"? How does that feel?
It's beyond relieving and achieving, because my goal as a drummer is to make people, when they come and see us with Black Label or whoever I play with, to forget their problems at that 1.5 hours, 1 hour, or 15 minutes. It doesn't matter. My job is to make people have a good time and know that they didn't have to go to a job in 5 hours or a job in the next day or the night coming up. I don't want them to feel that way. I want them to all take all their aggression and everything, not on another person per se in the crowd, but go into a what you would call Happy Gilmore happy spot or happy place and forget about your problems. I want to be the alcohol that makes you forget about your problems. I want the band to be the alcohol. When you see Zach do a guitar solo and people are like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." I want people to feel that. I want people to go and learn how to play guitar, learn how to play drums, watch JD and Nick play guitar and bass, and want to be like us. That's our job. We have to pass this torch down. Zach probably will still be rocking to the day he dies. But when that day comes, who's going to carry the torch?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Rockstar. When you see that movie, and Marky Wahlberg gives the mic, but before even that happened, he got the gig. And then he passed the mic down. And it's kind of has to go like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, Dimebag, when he passed away, who's going to take over that kind of stuff? Is Zach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not nowhere near as heavy as the Pantera movement, but he's as good.
Yeah, and he's carrying that torch for all of us.
And he is. I mean, he is the only guy that you can really say that came up in that era that's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm not putting Eddie Van Halen aside or Andy Summers or any of these cats. I'm saying in this genre.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you. And you know, he's one of the most humblest people I've ever interviewed. You know, just a really cool, down-to-earth guy.
Zach? Yeah, dude, he's a fuck. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
No, you're fine.
He's a guy that you could tell. He almost feels like, I don't know how to say this, but like a priest, where you could tell him all your problems, and he makes you feel secure.
Yeah.
You know, he's like my father. You know, he's a guy that I look up to because I'm, you know, a lot younger than him, so he can show me things. You know, he started out as a hired gun.
Yeah.
And he knows that scene. So he's always really, really good to us. He's funny. You know, underneath all that muscle and beard and clothes, he's still a human being.
I've watched some.
Everyone's like, "Oh, is he mean? No, he's not mean." And if he is mean, he's like anyone else. He might have a bad day.
Yeah.
But the problem with the musician is if we're mean to somebody, you know, it's not that we are born under a bad sign. It's just we are having a bad day, like all of us. But you catch us at a wrong time, and that's the first impression you get. They go, "Oh, I knew he was like that."
Yeah. And you guys get asked to do a lot of things too, publicity-wise and promos and stuff.
People don't realize. And it's not go oh boo hoo, but people don't realize a lot of the stress that lays on ourselves, on our soul. Because I'll get emails and be like, "I almost killed myself yesterday."
Wow.
Now I got to be Dr. Phil and fix that.
Jeez.
You know, how do you take that? That someone's life is about to be jeopardized, and he wants to talk to you, but you have 900 people you have to talk to on Facebook.
Right.
Or, "Oh, I see how you are. You're too cool to talk to your fans."
Oh, my God.
But you know what? I try to talk to every single person I can, but I come to the realization you can't make everyone happy.
Right, and that's true. Very, very true.
And I wish I could. I wish I could throw out a drumstick every show to every person in the audience.
Right.
And make them feel worthy. But that's like the golden ticket sometimes. When Zach throws a pick at someone, you know, it's like, "Wow, I got Zach's pick." People will fight to the death over those things.
And the huge black beach balls that you guys dropped from the too.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, and fire it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I was actually at Expo Center in Louisville, Kentucky. This is before you came on board. This is like 2 years ago. This is 2 years ago. I'd seen Black Label Society, and they dropped those big, huge Black Label Society beach balls down. And I'd never seen people just go ape crap over it, man. I mean, they were just literally pounding on each other. I was like, dude, it's just go buy one.
I know. But it's something about the challenge of getting it there when he throws it. Like, some people are really... I mean, I'm blown away, mesmerized by this, where they're like, "He looked at me. Mm-hmm. He threw that pick to me." No, he didn't throw the pick to you. He threw it in the air and you caught it. No, he really looked at me. He was singing those words to me.
Wow.
And he was singing them to another 100,000 people, too, in Donington. You know, but if some people want to feel special, then that's what that's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
But I never wanted to be a rock star. Never in a million years. I never played drums. Zach never played guitar to say, I want to be a rock star. I want to hook up with all the women I can. No, that guy plays, and I am not even exaggerating, 24/7 like I do. And when I saw him on the bus the first time when I did Judas Priest tour with him, the dude was playing guitar. He had his fiddles on the bus.
Yeah.
And then he has people bring him in the hotel with him.
Wow.
That's a guy. My hat goes off to a person that is so dedicated, who's so good at what he does already that he doesn't need to do that.
And he seems like he's trying to find more new stuff, new guitar playing too.
Well, I mean, when you're carrying that torch, your job as carrying that torch is to you have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, when I heard squeals, that's his thing.
Yeah,
He's just a very talented guy all around. Like, when I heard him play piano, I'm like, and you play that too? Let me take a guess. You play drums too? And he goes, yep. I'm like, oh, my God. But it's funny seeing Captain Caveman playing drums, It's pretty funny. But he's good at, he's a very talented guy.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're making a living out of music, I guess you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to pick up other instruments just in case if one doesn't work out for you, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know to what degree of training Zach has ever had. I know JD, our bass player, he went to Berkeley, and he's as talented as Zach. He plays guitar, obviously bass. Great piano player. Nick, I think it's just the guitar player. I mean, he probably plays bass. It's a very similar instrument. So, but me, I just play a cowbell.
More cowbell, baby. More cowbell.
I'm still trying to learn guitar. It's just something to me of keeping your fingers spread apart, looking like you're throwing a really bad gang cymbal, looking like you have arthritis in your knuckles, and then trying to make a chord and make it sound like music is not, to me, a fun thing.
Yeah. I love
hitting a big drum with a stick is pretty easy because you can hit it somewhere on the surface of that drum head and still make a sound.
Yeah. So. Let's talk about when you got the call to possibly be in Black Label Society. What was your reaction to that?
Well, it's kind of funny because, from, I guess, being the spiritual person that I am, I was brought to this opportunity once already, and it was from Will Hunt. Now, Will Hunt's been a great friend of mine who played on Order of the Black. Mm-hmm. Who, in my eyes, took Black Label to a different world with his drumming. And, I get a phone call at 4 in the morning. He's like, yo, man, it's Will. I'm like, yo, bro, what's going on? We haven't talked in a while. Because I used to be in a band called Switch, and I toured with him when he played for Tommy Lee. So I've had some history with Will. Anyways, long story short, he's like, yeah, man, I just got a call. I got to go back to Evanescence. Because he was playing with Evanescence, but she took a long hiatus.
Right.
So he was playing with Black Label at that time. And he basically told Zach, look, I play for Evanescence right now, but nothing's happening, so, I would love to play with you, kind of thing. But if the gig calls me back, I got to go back. He's like, yeah, absolutely, bro. So he played with them for a while, and then they get a phone call, and he's like, yo, man, do you know any Black Label stuff? And I go, I've heard Stillborn. That's basically it. He goes, well, I need you to learn, 16 songs now. I'm like, now? 4:30 in the morning? He goes, yeah, because I got to fly you to Europe tomorrow. I'm like, whoa, this is a little too much for me. He's like, well, I just got a call from Amy, and she wants me to go back and work on the record with her, and I don't have a drummer. So I'll call you in a couple of hours. I'm like, okay. So I'm ready to pack my bags.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this lost puppy. I have no clue what's going on. I don't know one song, and I got to go do a show in one day. Okay? One, I look like a GQ guy, not like I should be in that band. So I'm like, I got to find an image in 5 hours, this whole thing. So it was pretty funny. So I get a phone call, and he goes, long story short, brother, I guess you can't come to do it. They got John Kelly from Typo because they're on tour with him. He's going to finish the rest of the tour. But thank you. I'll let you know what's going on. All right, so that was that. And so that was my one opportunity. Second opportunity was Will left, and they were going to have an audition after John Kelly. I guess he was going back to Typo. I don't know the whole ordeal. And they were looking for a drummer, so they had auditions. So Will said, here's JD's number. Just call him. He'll tell you what songs to play, and then you just videotape and send it to him. He's the MD. And I'm like, musical director? We have a musical director in Black Label? So I thought that was kind of funny. Now, hence, I don't know anybody in this camp yet.
Yeah.
Right? So JD calls me up and blah, blah, blah. He's like, learn this song, learn this song, learn this song, learn this song. And I'm like, the hell? Suicide Messiah? Like, I'm looking at all these titles. Godspeed Hellbound. Funeral Bell.
Yeah.
Doomsday Jesus. I'm like, oh, God, are you testing me right now to sell my soul to play with this band? So I turned it down because I had another obligation playing with this band called Hourcast. And they were paying me before we were going to go on tour.
Uh-huh.
So, long story short, I turned down the gig. And I was already playing with this band, Hourcast, and we were supposed to go on tour in, I think, June. Well, I get a phone call from the guys in Hourcast and go, hey, things have changed. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, we got to go on tour in a month. And I'm like, with who? He's like, we got to go on tour with Black Label. I said, you got to be joking me, right? You're joking me. No. The singer from whatever band, I can't remember, his voice blew out, and we got to go on tour with this All That Remains and Anchor and Black Label. I said, all right, cool. Money's money, whatever. So we get on tour. I can't even tell you how much greatness these guys are. Like, I can't even put into words how nice Nick and JD and Zach were to us. He didn't have to be. He's Zach Lott. And I really didn't talk to Zach much, but he still was very nice. He was never like, hey, you asshole, or anything like that. So accommodating, and Nick and I just hit it off in JD. Well, the way we hit it off was we played hockey on the Xbox, and so did Nick and JD, but they played it religiously. So we had, they would try to get done with the gig as fast as they could so they'd come to our bus and play hockey. And we would find out what time bus call is, and we would have what we call the Stanley Cup, but we call it the Canley Stuff. And it went through tears after, it was like, we called it the arena. Yeah. We would have people from the show on our bus watching, rooting people on. It was such a great time. But the whole cool thing was watching them pray before they go on stage. I'm like, well, they're doing songs called Doomsday Jesus and Godspeed Hellbound and Stillborn. I don't think they're, spiritual people. Well, anyways, Froge was drumming with them, and Froge was a great drummer. And then I found out that he was let go or something, and I get a phone call from JD, and he goes, dude, we love your drumming. We want you to play for us. I said, okay, the third time I've been tested, the first or second time, I take this as, now maybe I'm being blessed.
Yeah. Because
I finally got to see the real true side of this band. Sometimes you read into it the wrong way. And I was looking at it, maybe it was a test of my faith of what I would do to sell my soul, just to be out in the public eye again. And, whether it was that way or not, it is where it is now, and to play with these guys, looking at Nick and looking at JD and looking at Zach, and knowing these guys are on the same team with me, it's such a great feeling. And it's really no different than me, you know, being the quarterback and Zach being the coach, and he's telling me what tempo to take the songs and transitions and all that. And I got to have my guys blocking for me so I can throw the touchdown.
Right.
You know, and Zach's the guy that steers the car or drives the car. Mm-hmm. You know, if he's ever having a bad day, we're not going to be able to do what we do. So he's always got to be in that right mind state. I mean, I come from a band that canceled shows all the time.
Wow.
And it was embarrassing. Zach could be puking out of his eyes, ears, and mouth, which I've never heard of, but if that ever was a disease, he'd still be playing.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't quit. Even if his voice is blown out, that guy will give 110% every single time. I've seen him sick. I really have. And if he's canceling a show, it's because he can't even talk. Or he had a blood clot.
Yeah, I remember
which I think people understand when it's close to death, you should be able to cancel a show.
Yeah.
But the thing that sucks about a musician is the show must go on mentality, and that is the honest God truth. I've played a show where a dislocated shoulder doing a drum solo. I've done it with food poisoning, as we all have.
Yeah.
I've done it with temperatures of 103 degrees.
Jeez.
Because you can't cancel shows when there's 15,000 people coming to see you.
Yeah, I seen a photo of Zach, Chad, that had he had blood.
Yeah, from his guitar all over his hand.
Yes. And he's still
shredding. And he's still playing.
Yeah.
I mean, let's call a spade a spade. The dude was a raging alcoholic and would be playing totally drunk to the point where he'd fall into his gear and still kill it.
Wow.
I mean, he's just a blessed person that is able to communicate his blessing to a massive group of people that want to learn to be like Zach.
Yeah. Now, I'll say this hands down. I've said it ever since I've started interviewing you guys. Black Label Society is by far my favorite band of all time, and I like a lot of music. Don't get me wrong, but as far as what reaches me, Black Label Society does it.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, it's when I heard God, what song is it? Drinking, puking, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is a little too much for me. But at that time, when Zach was writing those lyrics, he was feeling that point of, just partying and pissing and puking or whatever you wanted to put in his words. And I got it, but, everyone changes. And when everyone's like, oh, you sold out. Aww. And like Jason Newsted says, yep, every single seat.
The ones who say you sold out, my friend, they are the ones who are jealous. They are the ones who...
Well, exactly. I mean... Black Label, to me, is a huge underground. Yeah. They're not popular. You're not going to hear them on Top 40 with Lady Gaga. And if that is, then I think Zach would shoot himself in the head.
Yeah.
But he's going to find things that, okay, I can't write about this. I can't write about this. I can't write this song because I wrote that 20 years ago. So people got to realize when you're writing songs, they just don't come out of a hat with a rabbit in it going, okay, here's the chord. You want to hit this progression. It's like you start from the ground up, building a house that you never maybe built before.
Yeah.
You might go to a style that you've never even tried before. And you've done this 20 years of writing the same song, and you've got to try different formulas.
Right.
And, I'm thinking about this record, and it's like, I wonder what Zach's going to bring to the table, because he's wrote the Godspeed's Hellbound. Yeah. He's wrote the Funeral Bells. Right. He's wrote all this. He's at that age now where he has proved to the world he can do it all. Yeah. He can go from classical to really heavy to just balls out, rocked out Ozzy stuff.
Now, do you think that you being part of Black Label Society, that they've took you to another level as far as a drummer?
Oh, absolutely. I think we all take each other to another level because there's things, like I said, there's no better or worse. Like, I'm not better than Will. Will's not better than me. Froge isn't better than me. I'm not better than him.
Right.
We all played unique. Even though we played this, everyone's that's been a drummer in this band, God knows how many, of how many have been in this band, have tried to do and put something into this kitchen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chefs up in and behind that kit. But each person might put a little ingredient that's different spices that Zach might like. Or he might not like. I don't know. But everyone's going to add something different, so it's going to take Zach to a different world. I come from the jazz and funk background.
Uh-huh.
Now, Zach isn't just all rock. He listens to Al Di Meola. He listens to a variety of music. JD, jazz guy, funk guy, Nick. Same. So it's like, it's so many different things, and the more versatile you are, the more you can appreciate music and not just shoot it down.
Yeah.
And enjoy, okay, maybe we could try a country song. We never tried a Johnny Cash song. Let's try it.
That would be cool.
It won't hurt if you don't try it, you know, but sometimes you got to stick with that formula. And you have such, and that's one thing that I've always wanted to touch on in an interview, is one thing I noticed about the BLS camp. It is a militia.
Yes.
This is a true, honest God fan base that cares for a band.
Yeah.
Not who's popular on the radio, and let's listen to that band. No, this band could be shoveling crap, and they would still support us.
Yep.
And that, to me, is the most honesty, and we will play being on our deathbed for these people.
I can't wait.
They're coming to see us.
I can't wait to get out and meet you guys finally and get to shake your all's hand.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
But
it's a great feeling, and to be a part of this camp. I mean, I was not scared. I mean, I've been in a situation where I replaced a drummer before, but doing it again, it's like everyone liked Froge, everyone liked Will, everyone liked Craig. Everyone liked all these drummers. What am I going to get? Am I going to get a lot of shit from these people going, oh, man, this boy's like saying his style? And a lot of people were shooting me down right off the bat. They're like, there's no way Chet could do this gig. He's a jazz funk guy. And then they heard me do the first gig, and they're like, oh, my God, this dude fits in like a glove.
Yeah.
I had no clue he's this versatile.
Yeah.
It's not my cup of tea, but I know how to play the part.
But then, Chad, they're going to be sitting back going, he came from Breaking Benjamin? Well, yeah, if you get your head out of a rock and start listening to different styles of music, there's other bands that are put together like this,
I mean, everyone that listens to Slayer, do you think, honestly, Kerry King just listens to death metal?
No, can't be.
He grew up on probably Zeppelin. He probably grew up on, Grand Funk. He grew up on all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And if people deny that, they're lying.
He was part of Megadeth at one time.
You don't wake up and start listening to, I don't even know at that time what would be the heaviest band, but Louie at that time was like death metal when it came out in that genre.
Yeah.
In that era.
I think Kerry King was part of Megadeth for just a very short stint, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. I didn't know about that.
I think.
Well, we might have to go on the metal show and do an Eddie Trunk thing.
But
I mean, we're on our bus listening to Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Okay, and people are like, stop it. And he's like, dude, you have no clue what we really listen to.
Yeah. I know that.
And
Nick, I know. I was going to ask you this. I know that Nick and JD both told me. And they both were just giving Zach down the road about it. They're like, oh, my God, Zach listens the hell out of Led Zeppelin. And
oh, my God.
Yeah.
Dude, every song, a drum beat, if really you could play the Immigrant song.
Yeah. They're like... They're like, as soon as we get ready for a show or on the bus, they're like, it's 24/7 Zeppelin. And I can't remember the other band, but they're like...
Yeah, it feels like the station back home in Cleveland, Ohio let the lead out. I feel like I'm listening to that all over.
They're like, we're so sick of it by the time we get off the bus that we don't want to hear it no more. Never.
But you know what's great? And it's not a dig on Zach, and I hope he doesn't take it this way, but he's like, to me, my father and my grandfather of this music.
Yeah.
And it's like Led Zeppelin, his grandfather. You know, I mean, dude, he played my favorite guitar solo of all that he's played on is No More Tears.
Yeah, oh, good choice. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a popular song, and everyone's like, no, not that one, Chad, but that's the song that when you hear it, dude, it moved.
Yeah.
It started out really like crescendo, and then just got bigger and bigger, and you're just like, yeah. He looked badass. I mean, he moved. Of course, this is before he had a beard in any definition, but
Crazy
the dude
Babies
looked like a rock star at that time.
Yeah, Crazy Babies, I think, was the one that got me sold was Zach from Ozzy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, what a great story. Playing in a band that one of his icon is he's taking his basically gig. He is covering for Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
And every other guitar player that's played with him.
Yeah.
That's like me going and saying I'm filling in for Stuart Copeland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Lars Ulrich or Alex Van Halen.
Yeah. So
Not many people get that opportunity. Not many people get that opportunity. Period.
What would you say? Chad, what would you say your favorite song is by Black Label Society to play that you?
You know, it varies. It changes every tour.
Oh, okay.
My favorite song is Funeral Bell.
Yes. Yeah.
I just like the vibe of it. I liked Overlord a lot. I like Parade of the Dead.
Yeah. Fired Up, maybe.
And the stuff that we're going to be doing, the acoustic stuff.
I cannot wait to hear that. I mean,
yeah.
Like you said, Zach is so versatile, and you guys are too. But I'm really anxious to hear this new album that's coming out. Can you drop a little bit on it?
I think it's going to change Black Label history because it's going to show a different side of us.
Yeah.
That we're not just a metal band or a hard rock band, but we can actually play with an orchestra, or we could change the whole song and change the entire vibe of it.
But that's what makes but that's what makes you musicians, and I want people to understand that. You know.
Yeah, and I want people to appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, my drum teacher said it the best way. If you turn up, like a regular cigarette lighter, right? Mm-hmm. And you turn the flame down, and you put your hand over it. What's it going to do to you?
It's probably going to burn you, but not as bad.
Right, exactly. If you put the flame all the way up and you put your hand over it, what's it going to do to you?
You're going to get scorched bad.
Right. My point is, the analogy or the comparison is, it's going to burn you regardless if it's low or if it's high. Meaning, if we play quiet or if we play loud, it's still going to burn you. So the intensity is going to be there soft or loud. Mm-hmm. And this is what that band can do. We can go from a mouse squeak to a lion roar.
Very
and
true.
Still have the same intensity of every time we play.
And that's what I like about Black Label Society, because you guys are so versatile. You know, just like the song the one album that came out, the song
that remains the same.
I never can say that right. I never
can
say
that.
Does
it remain the same? I can't remember what it is.
See, but yeah, that one.
He puts records out like Madonna changes outfits. You know, it's like, holy shit, you put out this one? I don't even know when you did this one.
Yeah, but I like. I think Overlord's on there.
He does an acoustic version of that. He does.
Noel is on there.
The first Noel.
Yes, I mean, I appreciate your guys' music, and that's not me, sucking your butt or nothing like that. I mean, honestly, I just appreciate the music because it fits me to a level to where I only know where it takes me to.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like like the Black Label has its own crowd.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I was terrified when I went to NAMM, the music convention in LA or Anaheim, and I saw these guys wearing vests, and I'm like, are these guys going to beat me up? You know, I mean, I was terrified.
It's like, am I the Hell's
But
Angels
you know
group?
what? I'm in that clique now, and these people are all my brothers and all my sisters.
Yeah.
And if anything ever happened to any of us, they would have our back, and vice versa. So, what I really admire from Zach, and I think it's a brilliant thing, is we're not the ones that wear vests on stage. All you guys can get one too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like you're not worthy to have the shit what we have on stage. You have it too, so we all are part of this.
I'm soon getting my vest.
And I want people to realize that Black Label Society, BLS, that doesn't stand for that. My buddy, and you got to check this dude out. He's ridiculous on drums. His name's Zoltan Chaney. He played for Vince Neil, and now he plays for Slaughter.
Okay.
Amazing drummer, great friend of mine. He goes, you know what BLS stands for? I go, no, what does BLS stand for? He goes, be like Szeliga. And I was like, yes, buddy, I love you. And I thought that was the coolest thing in my drumming career. I'm like, so I go up to Zach. I'm like, dude, I love your band. He goes, thanks. I go, but you don't understand this BLS, what it really stands for. He goes, well, Black Label Society. I don't know. Be like Szeliga. He's like, get out of here.
And
it was pretty funny.
he's so cool because, I mean, you see these videos on YouTube about, like, how he's joking around. I mean, there's one video where he's sitting there with one of the...
He jokes all the time with dolls and you name it, man. He's a funny dude. He is really a funny dude.
Yeah. He's sitting there with...
But he's so big, and then he goes, oh, hi, Chad. I'm like, that's not what you're supposed to say to me, but hi.
Yeah, he's sitting there...
And he loves getting his balls busted.
Yeah,
you can bust his balls. Like, in a million years, dude, I would never in a million years... And I've heard of Zach's name.
Yeah.
You know, and watched his playing over and over. And I would ever say this, because he takes his guitar solo every night to make sure he's always on point on his performance.
Yeah.
And he always asks us, he's like, do you guys want to see my solo? I go, no, not really. No, thank you. And we just, like, joke with him, and he walks away sulking, like moping. But he knows, of course, we think he's one of the best. But it's so funny. Like, people would give their left nut to go, yeah, dude, absolutely, I would love to hear you play guitar.
Sure.
We're just like, yeah, that's all right. We're going to play some hockey. Streetlights are on. It's past our bedtime anyway.
There was a video of him sitting there with the guy. He said it was his producer, and the guy was just to the music. He's like, so how you like that? And he's like, well...
Oh, with the baseball bat?
Yeah. He's like, oh, no, you didn't.
He's like, oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, that's the one.
Snapped his fingers and his V.
Now, do you do any
but
clinics?
He's like that. He's such a funny dude.
Are you doing any clinics for, younger kids or anything like that who's interested in the music?
I'm going to start to. I would actually love, I'm talking to my fiance because she's really helping me put all stuff together and like Skype lessons and stuff like that.
Awesome.
That I want to do something for Sandy, the people that died in that school.
Yeah.
And maybe donate some of my drumming lessons for free to donate towards the families that lost their children.
Yeah. That dude was
in our hearts.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that happened. I mean, dude,
it's sickening in a world that we live in.
Yeah, it is.
And to know that my son is sick, not sick, but 6. Zach just had Sabbath not too long ago.
Yeah.
He has kids himself. And the guy is 20-some years old with bulletproof vests, guns that he should not even be in his possession, and shoots 6-year-olds. 6-year-olds. People that don't even have a chance to even see what junior high has entailed for them.
Yeah.
Let alone the future of being the next president, being the next Zach Wild, being the next Chad Szeliga, being the next Vinnie Paul, anybody.
Yeah.
Because this guy who is so selfish shot these people.
Yeah.
You know, as as we are supposed to do as Christian people, forgive. Like my mom always says, don't hate the person, hate the sin. I don't hate the person for what he did, but I hate what the sin he caused.
Yeah, it really bothers me. It bothers me because these parents now don't have their kids to hold and hug no more.
And on Christmas, of all times,
yeah,
you're going to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
You're going to shoot them on the most important holiday.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, you can't even put into words. Like, people like, describe what it's like being on stage, or describe what a tattoo feels like, or describe seeing your son come out. Well, you can't. Right. You have to physically be there to witness it. And just seeing this on TV was like watching 9/11, watching the buildings just corrode to the ground.
That's what I thought of too.
And it's like you're feeling like you're watching a movie. Like, and our problem with society is, and I will say this, and you can publicize this because I hate this. We should not be celebrating the deaths and this and that on TV, and talking to how the victim. Or how the killer, how he killed and how he did it and how he escaped through this door and what he killed him with. Because it's going to give another idiot another idea to go, well, I have nothing to do and my life is done and I'm going to go down with a bang.
Yeah.
See, I'll at least be on TV.
They glorify them like celebrities. That's the whole problem right there.
Yeah, we celebrate them like a celebrity.
Yeah.
Because that's what the public wants to see. They want to see drama. They want to see that because who on God's green earth wants to see kids get shot? I sure don't. I really don't even want to know about it because it mourns people when they go, "Wow, could have been my child today," and then now you got to go every night going, "Honey, should we put our kids in school still? Should we let them go to school tomorrow? What if? What if? You know? And let's go see Batman. Well, maybe we shouldn't because they already got shot down last year. Let's not go see this new Batman." It's like it's giving every way of getting out of society and staying in your house and buying everything on TV.
You know, there's two little kids that are really close to me, and I help them out with their homework and stuff like that because I'm close with their mom.
That's great.
And things. I help them out as much as I can, and the day that happened, they can't call me John, they call me Fawn. Yeah, and then they're like 8, and one's 9 and one's 7. So I said, boys, you can call me whatever you want to. I don't care. But when that happened, I went to see them. They come to the door hollering Fawn, Fawn. They hugged me. I just thought of all those kids. Like, wow, what if this was to happen here? I mean, that would totally devastate my world. And I can't imagine.
Yeah. You can't even fathom, like, what the parents are at time stand still right now, like what's going on. I mean, like, being a Christian, I get, well, if God was such a God, why would he let these children die? He doesn't go poof like Superman and go save the world.
Right.
He gives us a free will. He's not going to take children's lives because he wants to. I mean, I think he gets blamed on things for the bad things, and the devil gets blamed for the bad things. The devil, we give him too much credit. Well, the devil made me do it. No, the devil didn't make you do it. That dude did it himself. And he can be tempted and go, come on, man, your life is ruined. Yeah. You can go ruin all those people that made fun of you in school when you were 6 years old. And that maybe triggered his mind going, well, you know what? I went to the school, and I'm going to kill every 6-year-old that was mean to me. And he goes into a flashback and doesn't look at these 6-year-olds as innocent people. He looks at when he went to school. I mean, for God's sake, he shot his mom, killed his mom at the house.
Yeah.
And they said, well, his mom went to school there, or taught there or something, worked there. And that wasn't even the point. So he just shot his mom.
Yeah, I don't even know about his dad, or I know he's got a brother they were talking about, but I don't know if he's got a dad, or I'm sure he does, but I'm just saying.
And I feel terrible for his father. I think his father was divorced. I mean, I could not even imagine just losing my child, but losing my child knowing he killed all these others in this horrible nightmare. Like, how are you going to live for the rest of your life knowing your son was a killer?
Very true.
And you are going to be walking in a bar going, oh, you're that guy. You're the father's, oh, okay, we'll see you later.
Yeah, you're
the brother. You can't have a relationship. You can't even have friends.
Yeah.
And there's people that probably want to hurt him so bad right now.
I'll guarantee it.
And that's when this person called me up one time, I'm not going to mention who, and said he was going to kill himself. I said, don't you dare do that. Because you're not just thinking about helping yourself out, but you're going to hurt me. You're going to hurt your mom. You're going to hurt your dad. You're going to hurt your entire family, because we're going to mourn after you pass away because of your selfishness. Think about us.
Yeah.
We're the ones that are going to be hurting, not you. This ain't game over and then you put in and you hit power on PlayStation 3 and you start the game over. Once it's over, it's no longer able to play again.
Yeah, it's like I've always told my friends, if you have issues, come talk to me. They're not that stupid. Trust me. I mean, come talk to me. We did bullying things. Like, I was supposed to do this with Mark and Aaron from Breaking Benjamin at our schools around here, but I had to go and attend to some meetings. It got postponed because of that hurricane. Right.
But anyways, this whole bully thing is just a bunch of BS. It really starting to get underneath my skin, because I remember being bullied. And who hasn't been bullied? I still get bullied as an adult.
Yeah.
You know? Your bosses bully you. But you have to learn how to overcome it. And then I hear people like, you remember Timmy or this or that? Yeah, well, he killed himself. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was bullied and he killed himself. Wait, stop. What I'm thinking, are people making these excuses to not go to school?
Yeah.
That's what I honestly think. And this is their easy ways out of these things. Because guess what? Toughen up. You're getting bullied. I know it sucks. But that's what gives you a thick skin for the real world. Because the real world doesn't care about anything you do.
That's exactly right.
If you're not making them money. So if you can't handle high school, junior high, elementary, kindergarten, you aren't going to be able to do anything. You're going to be a hermit crab.
Yeah. Very true.
Learn to live for what you were born and blessed with, and love yourself.
And your true friends.
Because no one is going to care for you. Yeah, I have a lot of friends, and I have a lot of acquaintances.
Yeah.
And I know that. It hurts, but it's the nature of the beast. You know what it's like to walk into Walmart? I mean, for granted, it's a great feeling. But when you walk in and go, oh my God, it's drummer Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah.
I'm like, hi, how you doing? And they're like, well, why do you shop here? Oh, I don't know. My butler took the week off, so I figured I would come here, and get some supplies for myself.
Mm-hmm.
No, I come here because you have good deals. Where do rock stars shop? Underground?
Yeah, I mean, you're just the same as...
We're getting treated like God, and we're not God.
I mean, you guys are just the same as anybody else.
We're normal.
Yeah, you're right. You're normal. I mean, you guys are just the same as anybody else.
And I want to be treated like that. I want to be called idiot. I want to be called, you're such a dumbass. Not, oh, you're awesome, you're great, you're this. And I don't want you to kiss my ass to kiss my ass. I want to be treated equally, just like everyone else. I'm no better. Just because I'm on MTV or Jay Leno or playing with Zach Wilde, I am no better than you or the next person that interviews me or the next person that comes and sees me. Right. I have a job. I do my duty. I do it 110%, like someone working at Walmart that believes in his job and working his way up to his career. Being the manager is no different than me being a drummer in another band and trying to build my resume.
Exactly.
But I don't ever want handouts. I want to work for everything. I mean, for granted, being in a rock band, it comes with fringe benefits. You do get free things, but you promote it, and it's a company. Remember dating girls, And the parents would be like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be a professional musician. Well, if you want to date our daughter, you have to be, we're thinking more like a doctor or a lawyer, something that's going to provide for our daughter.
Wow.
And now being a father, I get it, but
Yeah.
guess what? Being a musician is not a deadbeat thing. You have to learn how to market. You have goals that you are achieving, and you're not becoming this deadbeat person because this is the way you have to make a living.
I agree.
So it's like no different than college, but you're not paying $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
And you're learning Boy Scout survival because you only live on ramen noodles, and you're building Bunsen burners to make make food.
Yeah. I tell
But
you
then
what.
when you do get a record contract and everything, it's self-rewarding because you did it. You didn't have anyone help you. You did it all yourself.
Yeah.
And everyone's asking me, "Oh, how do you make it?" I'm honestly, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, play out as much as you can, learn every style that you can, pray. Just stay humble, stay in prayer. I mean, that's the only things I can say because it's at the right place at the right time. As cliche as that sounds, that's the honest God truth. And I always say, always know the right people and get ready to buy knee pads at Home Depot because you're going to do a lot of sucking. And it is. It's a lot of kiss ass in this business.
And it's sad it has to be that way, but...
It's very sad, and it's getting worse and worse. I mean, really, on a hand of bands, I was talking to some of my friends, of keeping this music strong in rock and roll is us, Shinedown, 3 Days Grace, Seether, Black Veil Brides and stuff like that, then Sevenfold. But there's not, I don't even think Disturbed's play anymore.
No,
So
I don't think they are.
There's not many rock bands because we're taken down by pop. But it is always a 360 cycle. It always comes back around to same old rock and roll.
Yeah. Soil was good, and they're still out there rocking. And Drowning Pool, I thought Soil was good.
Oh yeah, they're good friends. I used to tour with them when I was on a band called Switch with Seven Dust.
And Seven Dust too, man. I mean, my God.
They are one of the best bands. Them and Papa Roach live, and they are road dogs. Same with Shinedown. They will tour Nonpoint as well. They will tour, and after they get done touring, they're back in the studio doing another record because they get it. If they don't like each other, they don't care about that. They go, you know what? This is a job. This is what I got to do to provide to take care of my family. So I might not like you today, but I'm going to make the best out of it.
Yeah, I've tried to find Seven Dust to get a contact for them, and I can't find nothing, but I'm not going to give up, so.
I'll try to talk to Morgan.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. This has been by far, I mean, honestly, I've done a lot of interviews, but this has been by far one of the great interviews that we've done. So,
well, thank you, bro.
I mean, it's just two guys just sitting here talking about music, honestly.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
I never want people to feel intimidated. Like, I mean, for Grant, I mean, when I started playing with Zach, it felt a little intimidating at first. My first rehearsal, I had like 3 rehearsals, and then I'm doing basically a Judas Priest tour. So it's like, you better learn how to play, and you better play fast. And I'm not a double bass player, so, JD really pushed me to learn how to play double bass, and now I can play double bass pretty good. But, like, these people are willing to help. And you don't find all the time, but when you do, you hold on to it. Because they feel like your guardian angel. They feel like they're going to take you under their wing and teach you all the secrets of the trade.
See, I try to I try to do locals on here a lot, and I support locals 110%. And I tell them,
that's great.
I tell them anything they get, send it to me. I will play it. I'll do what I can to help them. Like right now, there's 3 bands that I really, really like. August Runs. They're from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If you get a chance,
I've heard of that name.
I'll get you. You need to check them out. They are really, really good. I like them.
Dude, there's so many good bands. The only thing, and I do want to touch on this, is there's so much jealousy in this world.
Oh yeah. Oh my. Yeah.
If we all just gave credit where credit's due, and if a band's good and we don't have any jealousy, those two bands could get along and be more powerful than trying to do it on their own, and they could start a Seattle movement. But everyone gets jealous, so they're trying to get signed. But guess what? It takes a longer time to sign one band, because when Breaking Benjamin got signed, you're sure as shit that the label's going to be like, well, if Breaking Benjamin's there, what else other bands are there?
Yeah.
You know, that's how they work. I mean, a label is basically just a loan. It's just something you can say, I'm on Hollywood Records, I'm on Virgin Records, I'm on Epic, or this or that. It's just a loan you got to pay back. It's really no different, but they have a lot of pull. If you don't play Breaking Benjamin, we're not giving you Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
You know, so you get some of that clout. But it's no different, dude, than a business. And when people are like, oh, this, you know, F the labels and this and that, guess what? If you own the label, you'd be doing the same damn thing to the band.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they make a living. That's how managers make a living. That's how musicians make a living.
Chad.
It's like someone that's cheating on their girl. You know what I'm saying? And they do it, and they do it, and they do it. And then when that girl cheats on you, they go, that woman's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Man, I hate her. She's stupid. I'm over her, man. I can't believe she did that to me. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? We're having this conversation right now. Since she's cheated on her 50 times. Now, when it happens to you, you're upset. I love it.
Yeah. And all you can do is stand there, smile, and laugh.
Yeah, exactly. And go, how about them, you know, how about them calves? Or something. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, dude. How can people get a hold of you, man, to say, hey, Chad, we love your music and things like that?
You could just hit me on Facebook or email me, ChadSzeliga @gmail.com. That's Chad Szeliga, or be like Szeliga. And, and I'm pretty good at answering emails. My fiance does a lot for me. She'll ask me and she'll type it because I have an attention span of a walnut. So my typing skills are really bad. I still look for the S for an hour. And, and then I teach on Skype, you know, drum lessons. I do $30 a half hour and $60 an hour. And everyone says it's pretty cheap for my status, but again, I don't want to rip people off. I know people charge $125. Who can afford that in these days?
Exactly.
I just want people to become drummers and get away from the drugs and the violence and try to get motivated. If you want to pound the crap out of your child, pound it on a drum set.
Yep. I agree.
That's the way I look at it.
Dude, if you need, like, I mean, I'm just an email away for, you know, Facebook, whatever you guys need from me, so.
Well, I really appreciate it. And definitely keep in contact, and anytime we come into town, hit me up, man. I would love to meet you personally. I feel like we're on a blind date. I don't know what you look like or anything, so.
I'm a 10. I'm a 10.
I'm 250 pounds, solid muscle.
Yeah.
Bleach blonde hair, blue eyes.
My hair flows in the wind like Fabio.
But then you come and meet me, I look like you know, like Billy Ray Cyrus on like a really bad hair day.
But this has been a really cool interview. I really appreciate you taking time out to do this.
Thank you. Anytime, brother. Anytime. And thank you for having us and supporting the band for all over the years that you have. And have a great holiday. And I'm glad we could have this conversation in the wilderness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, we did survive the apocalypse. All right.
Yeah, well, you know, that kind of gave us a hint was Australia going, everything's good here. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And once again, people overreacting in the media doing their little ritual that they normally do. So, you know.
Yeah, I just feel sorry for the guy that jumped out at 11/11/11, or supposedly out of that portal out of the sky to come and save humanity when he finds out he's kissing the soil and going, this sucked.
Yeah.
This didn't work.
It's like, are you all right? Rudolph pushed me.
I can't feel my finger.
Yeah, Rudolph pushed me.
Yeah, blame it on Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Actually, blame it on Suicide Messiah. Why don't you blame it on that? Maybe you had to jump and save humanity. It has nothing to do with that in the lyrics, but they'll figure a way.
Would you care to do a promo for the show, Chad?
The what?
Would you care to do a promo for the show?
Yeah, I would love to.
Just say this is Chad from Black Label Society, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Hey, everybody that's listening. This is Chad Szeliga from Breaking Benjamin and Black Label Society, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. So tune in.
Awesome. Once again, thank you for your time, brother. I really appreciate this. I will definitely keep in touch with you.
Anytime.
Like I said, anything you guys need or want me to put on the air, send it my way. I will definitely do it, and I really do mean that. And
yeah, absolutely. Thank you, like I said, for supporting the band.
Not a problem whatsoever. Guys, stick around. We got some Breaking Benjamin I'm going to be playing, and I've got some Black Label Society I'm going to be playing. Here on BODS Mayhem Hour, you only hear this on Oeuvre City Radio. Thank you, Chad, so much, man.
Oh, dude, anytime. And be safe, happy holidays, and definitely let's talk in 2013.
Awesome.
If the Mayans maybe screwed that up and said, no, it was in 2013 of February.
All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back.